Hello, I'm Lene Rhodes, owner of Mix Cosmetics, your custom, sociable, eco-friendly makeup. And today I'm going to talk about the eco-friendly part. Which is really important to me. And so I hope I talk about this enough. If there are things that you want me to talk about from my tagline or more products that you want me to answer questions about, always let me know. Give me comments, shoot me text messages, message me on Facebook, however you want to talk to me. I would love to do that. So today, talking about the eco-friendly part and a little bit about why I don't consider myself a vegan makeup line and why I do consider myself a vegetarian makeup line, and how I can actually make your products completely vegan if you want me to. So, vegetarian is not using any animal byproducts. Basically, eggs, honey, cheese, those sorts of things tend to be acceptable to the vegetarian world, but not okay for the vegan. Of course, if you're vegan, you know this, and I'm trying to explain to those who kind of don't know the difference. I don't consider myself vegan because I want to support local. And here's why it matters that I don't consider myself vegan and why supporting local makes me not vegan. It is for this little product right here. What is that, you ask? It is beeswax. Beeswax is, of course, a byproduct of the bee colony, and it is extremely important for bees. It's what they build their colonies out of. It's what they build their honeycomb out of. It is how they, the little combs are where they birth their babies. They store their honey. So beeswax is a vital part of the bee colony. And so when you take beeswax away from a live colony, you are doing a disservice to them. They have to rebuild that beeswax. But it is loaded with all kinds of benefits. Things like propolis, which is healing for skin, and honey, which has glycolic acid, and in a non-bleached beeswax, it contains honey, leftover particles, and so all of these wonderful benefits help your skin. And I support local. I actually buy this beeswax from a friend. We live in Minnesota where it gets really cold in the wintertime, and a lot of times the bee colonies actually die, and so they no longer need their beeswax. We purchase new bee colonies every year, and they come with enough beeswax to get them started. And so these hives, the big boxes, have to be cleaned out for the new colonies. And so I buy this beeswax from local farmers because it's great for your skin. I use it in soap, I use it in lip products, I use it in lotions. Most of my products contain beeswax. It's really, really good for you. And at this point, I'm small enough that I can support local farms. If I get to the point where I have to buy commercial beeswax, I will probably stop using beeswax, because commercial beeswax, they often take it from live colonies that are still in need of it, and it's hard on the bees, it's hard on the colonies, and they have to rebuild that beeswax. So I don't want to get to that point. But while I'm small enough that I can support local, and I get pounds of this stuff, bags and bags and bags of this stuff from her every year, and I am still at a point where she can supply me and there's no problem. Maybe I'll get a little bit bigger and I will have to stop using beeswax. At that point, I will use some of these other things you see in front of me. Things like Olawax, which is an olive oil based product. Of course, it's vegan and vegetarian, totally safe for your skin, wonderful vegetable oil derived. And then these Carnauba and Candelia wax. These are extremely hard, solid, thick, glossy waxes. They're a little bit harder to work with. They also come from palm trees. And there could be a point at which we start to over harvest these products. And so I don't really want to make that a problem before I have to, or before I can find a sustainable source of Candelia and Carnauba wax. So I don't want to start using that. And then I also have rice bran and soy wax. But I found that quite a few people are allergic to soy or don't want that in their diet. And so I don't use soy often. And then rice bran is actually great. It's similar to beeswax. It's a little bit harder and it's not quite as moisturizing. It gives you a great occlusive layer, meaning it holds the moisture in your skin and protects the environmental elements from getting in. And so I do use rice bran wax and I really like it. So that would be another thing. And rice bran, it comes from the bran of the wax, which is or the bran of the rice, which is sort of a non-necessary part of the rice. And so actually it's a great way to utilize something that's being wasted anyway. So I actually like rice bran because it comes from that outside hull and is a product that would be thrown away otherwise. So I like rice bran for that reason, and I do try to use quite a bit of that as my beeswax substitute or replacement. Another reason I don't consider myself vegan is because I like these two ingredients, pearl and silk. Pearl and silk are fantastic for your skin and they come from bugs. And I know that they are not vegan friendly, but silk has been harvested for thousands and thousands of years. China has been harvesting silk sustainably, and they are still at that point where they're harvesting it sustainably, and we're trying to get that, get fair trade acts passed and make sure workers are paid well for producing silk. And this is a silk byproduct. What they can't use, they actually grind up, and we can use it in makeup, we can use it in soap. It feels silky. It helps build the amino acids in your skin. So all in all, it's a great product. Pearl, of course, comes from, I guess they're not technically insects, they come from oysters. And so those are generally pearls that aren't usable or aren't saleable. And so they're that lower quality, they grind them up, and in teeny tiny amounts, it is fantastic for your skin, helps draw moisture, helps strengthen your skin. So I do really like pearl and silk because they're moisturizing, strengthening, add protein, help collagen. So that's why I don't consider myself vegan. But if this is really important to you, and I know that different people have different stands on things, if you want my products to be vegan, or if you say, I just want to purchase vegan products, I don't add silk and pearl to anything without people asking me to do so. So that is kind of an add-on product, but the waxes, the beeswax, can be replaced with rice bran, Candelia, and Carnauba wax. So I can be completely vegan, I just don't give myself that certification. And oftentimes, companies that are completely vegan, a lot of their ingredients are actually synthetic and they can be a lot stronger. So it sort of also depends, do you want completely natural ingredients? Because sometimes the completely natural ingredients are animal byproducts, or would you rather have gentle synthetics and keep it very, very clean vegan? So that is obviously your choice, and I just wanted to explain to you my choice. So Lene Rhodes, Mix Cosmetics, I'd love to hear questions, and I hope to see you next week. Oh, and I have a new button, isn't this cool? Oh, but it's not working.